Okay, so a lot of you all have been wanting a video of grooming. So I'm going to show you what I use to bathe Chloe. First off, I bathe her in the kitchen sink because it's easier for me than bending over a bathtub. And in the kitchen sink, I use worn out old placemats, and they work great as a bath mat for the sink because they fit perfectly, and they also give her traction and keep her from slipping, but still allows the water to go down too, so she's not standing in her dirty water. And then I used to bathe her with Cowboy Magic or Yorkie Splash and Shine shampoo and conditioner, but recently, in the past few weeks, I bought the Chris Christensen Ice on Ice detangling shampoo and the Chris Christensen Ice on Ice detangling conditioner. And I absolutely love these. These are my favorite out of any shampoo or conditioner that I've used yet. The next time I may try their Spectrum 10 line just to give it a try. I keep a cup handy to rinse her face with, and to rinse her body I use the sprayer, but to rinse her face I use the cup. And I keep tore up cotton balls to put in her ears. So I guess that wraps up that as far as what I use product wise during her bath. So I will be back after I get her in the sink and wetted down and show you how I shampoo her. Okay, we are back now. I basically got her, I got her coat brushed out, and I've got her already really wet, but I'm just going to show you how I use the sprayer. And you have to, if they have long hair, lift up their hair and kind of spray it underneath too, because the underneath part doesn't want to get wet. And I shampoo her face after I shampoo her body. So that's the reason her face is still dry. So I have her really wet now, and I'm going to take the Chris Christensen Ice on Ice shampoo. And I figured out you just have to use little bits in sections with this shampoo because it really does not want to lather a whole lot. And so you just kind of have to do little bits and then do sections of her body. And right now I'm just working it into her hair. And it's good to wash the hair in the direction that it falls if they have long hair, because if not, you're going to be creating tangles if you're just lathering it in every direction. So just kind of comb the shampoo through with your fingers. And always before her bath, I always make sure that I brush her coat out really, really, really good, because if not, if you wash a tangled coat, it's only going to make it get matted up even worse. So the same thing to the back end. And Chloe really does not like to stand up. She would rather sit, so I have to hold her up to do her back end. But as you see what I'm doing, kind of just running the shampoo through with my fingers. And I'll do this for a little bit, so I'm going to pause the video so it doesn't get too long, and I'll be back after I finish washing her. Okay, I am back. I'm just going to rinse her now. This shampoo rinses out really, really easy too. And I did use kind of some extra shampoo, I guess, than I needed, but she was kind of dirty this week. I just bathed her last week, but she had agility class, and as some of you all know, she is my service dog as well. So we've been several places out in town, and she had got tatty from just being out in town and stuff, and so I had to use some extra detangler on her too, and it doesn't cause any buildup or anything, but it does if you have to use a lot of it. It does seem to make their coat get a little bit heavier, so I just used some extra shampoo to make sure she got extra clean. But I'm just make sure I rinse her really good, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm raising up the hair and making sure that I rinse all the layers really, really good. And this is the same way that I wet her down. Alright, so now she is rinsed really well. I am going to put the cotton balls in her ears. And what I will do is I will fill this cup up with water. And I take, well, I'll turn her around in the sink so I can reach her better. And I pull her top knot hair back so the water runs back instead of in her eyes. And I take her chin hair and raise her head up and just wet her head like this. And to wet around her mouth, it's sort of easier just to take your hand and put some water in it and sort of do this to keep from getting any water in their nose or down their mouth and cause them to aspirate. So just do it like that. And make sure her head is really wet. And then to shampoo, she really doesn't like her head to be washed. She's really good about everything except her head, and she's not bad with that, but she does like to shake and get me wet. I think that might be her way of punishing me. So I'm just going to, now this is not a tearless shampoo, so you do want to be very careful to not get it in their eyes. So I'm just going to wash around her ears, and you do the same thing, just kind of go with the direction of the hair. And I know it looks like I'm using a lot of shampoo, but I'm really only using a little drop at a time because it gives me the ability to rub it into my hands and make it sudsy. Because like I said, it doesn't want to bubble that well. And so that helps me to, here, again. See, I told you she doesn't like her face to be washed. Alright, so now that I have her face washed, I'm just going to rinse it exactly like I wetted it, and I'll pause the video again to save some time. Okay, so I have finished rinsing Chloe, and now I am going to move her to the other side of the sink to do her conditioner. So I will just, since she was sitting in some bubbles over here, I'll take the cup and just kind of make sure she's got all of the bubbles rinsed off. And I will take the Ice on Ice detangling conditioner, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of conditioner. That will be for her back end, and I kind of wet my hands after I rub it in. So I do the conditioner the same way as the shampoo, with the direction of the hair. And work it into her coat really, really well. I really think I'll go through the shampoo a lot quicker than I will the conditioner, just because the shampoo doesn't lather a whole lot, and I probably use way more than I need just because of that. I'm one of these people that feel like if it's not got some lathering to it, it's not cleaning, which I know that is probably not true, but that's just how I have always been. So but I really don't think you need as much as what I use. And I have noticed her hair has been a lot more manageable since I've been using this shampoo and conditioner. So I'm going to pause the video again, and this conditioner is going to sit for 5 minutes, and I'm going to put it on her head too, but I just put a tiny little bit on her head and let it sit for 5 minutes, and then I'll of course rinse her out really, really good, and then I'll get her out of the sink and put some of the products that I use in her hair on her before I dry her, and I'll share those with you all after I get her dried, so she doesn't have to be cold while I video. And but I'll be back shortly. Okay, so here we have my little drying setup. I sit in this chair, and I sit all of her products that I will need in this chair. This is the Chris Christensen wood pen brush, and it is amazing to use on wet hair. It's great on dry hair too, but I really like this for wet hair because it does not break the wet coat. So when I get her out of the bathtub, I spray the Chris Christensen Ice on Ice leave-in detangler and finishing spray in her hair, and then I will brush her out with the Chris Christensen wood pin brush. And once I get her brushed out, I will apply about 4 to 5 drops of this on her body and her face. This is could be used as a heat protectant, and it also is just really good for their hair. I got this at Sally's beauty supply. It's the Silk Elements Pure Argan Oil. It has no other ingredients. It's just completely pure argan oil. And you can probably hear Chloe in the background. She's rubbing herself all over the couch. And then I use this Verbac ear cleaner to help dry out any water that may have gotten her ears, even though that I use cotton balls. And the scissors are what I use to trim her hair with. Okay, so after she gets done rubbing herself all over the couch, I will apply the Chris Christensen Silk Spirits to her hair, and then I will brush her out with the Madden pin brush. This is a good finishing brush. It helps remove the static, and this is also what this is for. It kind of helps, it removes the static in the hair, and it also helps it to just lay really good. Like I said, this is the finishing brush, so even if she has a mat, I will spray the Ice on Ice detangler on the mat, and then brush the mat out with the wooden pin brush because it doesn't pull the hair. And then of course I will always finish her brushing with my favorite finishing brush, which is, like I said, the Madden pin brush. It's the medium cushion, so it has quite a bit of give to it. And then for her top knot, I use this Madden steel tail comb, and I will part off her top knot with the steel tail, and then I will brush, I'll brush her top knot hair out with the wood pin brush, and then after I use the wood pin brush is when I'll part it off, and then comb through it and put up her top knot. And after, I also brush her face with the wooden pin brush because it's not sharp. The edges are just, they're really, I can't think of the right word that I'm trying to use, but it's great for the face, so that way if they was to jerk or something and it was to poke them in the eye, it wouldn't cause as much damage as this pin brush. Which you still need to be really careful to try not to do that. And then I will brush her face, especially around her mouth, with this comb. It's a face comb. It's from Madden, and I believe it's 4.5 inches long. And I use this side to get any tangles out, and then this side just to sort of finish it off and help it to lay the way that I want it to. And in a later video, I will show you all my favorite rinseless shampoos, and then I will try to make another video as well of the products that I use on her teeth. And I will post a link in the comments on where that I got the Madden products and the Chris Christensen products. And this here I just got from Chewy.com.